It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler.
Hey guys, Tyler here. For this video, I'm gonna respond to yet another article that was done by ScreenShares. The last video was like 2 years ago for that whole entire site for my channel, where pretty much they claim that there were like 10 other monsters that were much more stronger than Godzilla. And actually, of course, I disagree with the entire list because all the characters are just garbage in that list. However, they decided to talk about Ultraman this time, and pretty much it's the same sort of garbage that I saw the last time. So without further hesitation, let us begin.
Ultraman versus Godzilla. Can Marvel's hero beat the King of the Monsters?
Before I respond to this article, I first want to state that obviously I am by no means a fucking expert when it comes to Ultraman. However, I have so many freaking Blu-rays of Ultraman at this point. I saw like a chunk of the series, like Mill Creek Entertainment is still freaking releasing the Blu-rays as I speak right now. And so naturally, I only saw like a small portion of many different shows when it comes to Ultraman. That said, it is so silly, really freaking silly to say that Ultraman is pretty much a Marvel hero. No, he's freaking not. He is not some sort of hero when it comes to the Marvel Studios. Now, Ultraman originally came from Super Ray Productions, and Super Ray Production produced all these freaking Ultraman shows that I have in my hand right now. And sit here to say that a Japanese superhero is somehow a Marvel hero in of itself does not make any sort of freaking sense. And also, just look at that freaking picture right there. That picture right there is not freaking Godzilla. That image right there comes directly from the first series. Now, in the first series, like, Ultraman was fighting exactly that same monster. And so naturally that monster was not freaking Godzilla. So already, we have like two freaking things that's wrong before we go into the article.
Ultraman versus Godzilla. Who will win in a fight? Godzilla and Ultraman are two of Japan's most iconic exports. But just who will win a very literal clash of titans?
Super Ray Ultraman first appeared in a Japanese television series of the same name in 1966. Shinayada possesses the ability to become the towering hero Ultraman, but only for 3 minutes, during which time he defeats his kaiju opponents. Meanwhile, To's Godzilla, or Gojira as he's known in Japanese, appeared in over a decade earlier in its own self-titled big screen debut in 1954. Often seen as a metaphor for nuclear weapons testing at the time, Godzilla is a massive prehistoric being capable of reckoning carriage with his atomic breath. The two characters seen interaction over the year. Interesting enough, both characters at one point or another appeared in licensed Marvel Comics, so a crossover isn't entirely unfortunable. As it stands, the two only officially battled it out on the home video game Battle Soccer. The 1973 film Godzilla vs. Megalon did feature Godzilla team up with Jet Jaguar, whose appearance was partially inspired by Ultraman.
I'm sorry to say this, Godzilla, but you actually lost. Yes, you in fact actually lost to Ultraman. Now, I'm not really joking either. Like, basically, Godzilla unofficially lost in an episode of Ultraman. Now, the thing is that Super Ray Productions had like a lot of privileges when it comes down to the monsters. And so sometimes many Toho monsters actually appear in Ultraman in an unofficial way or a bootleg way. And so naturally, of course, for Ultra Q, they actually reused the Godzilla suit for a monster called Gomez, which pretty much attacked in the very first episode of that series. And so naturally, of course, for the other episode for Ultraman, we actually get to see Godzilla and also Ultraman fight it out together. And funny enough, of course, Godzilla does not change much. There's like this sort of giant thing over his neck when he's fighting Ultraman. And so naturally, of course, Ultraman beats Godzilla in that episode. So it appears as though that Godzilla actually might be losing to Ultraman if in fact he does in fact fight against that Ultraman character. And we know that for a fact because, of course, Super Ray Productions produced the first 3 series. And so we don't have to really imagine about, of course, Godzilla losing to Ultraman or vice versa, because there's actually a fight on YouTube on the Blu-rays. So guys, check out that fight.
In Ultraman Rise of Ultraman number 5, Shin himself does a battle with a kaiju very similar to the appearance of Godzilla. Not only does this kaiju clearly resemble Godzilla, but also emits an energy blast from his mouth, similar to Godzilla's atomic ray.
It's like what I said earlier, Super Ray Productions actually got the rights to use the suit for Godzilla for that particular episode of Ultraman. And so, if you guys really did your homework, you pretty much know that that monster is in fact Godzilla, because the suit was literally Godzilla.
While Ultraman finishes his Godzilla-inspired kaiju with his signature move, there is no guarantee that the Spacium Beam can finish off the big guy in one blast, and in fact, it may take several blasts to actually damage the King of the Monsters. That would put Ultraman at a serious disadvantage to finish off Godzilla in 3 minutes or less.
Well, what do you think, Godzilla? Can you be defeated by Ultraman? Yeah, I'm gonna probably say yeah, it could be a really tough fight, honestly. But the title of the whole entire article is whether or not Godzilla will defeat Ultraman. And there's still like no free conclusion. As a matter of fact, prior to this article, of course, you used the wrong sort of, image, which does not feature Godzilla. And of course, you forgot to mention that, of course, Agent Super Ray actually, of course, used a Godzilla suit for the fight with Godzilla for that episode. You also forget to mention, of course, that Ultraman is not in fact a Marvel hero. So there's like a lot of misinformation from that article. Like a lot of misinformation. But what do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.
It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. He's your only black friend, so he's your best black friend. I wouldn't trade him for another black friend, because black friends are rare, as you should be aware. He smiles like Richard Pryor, so just sit and stare. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler.